Hey, Globetrotters! Are you ready to elevate your travel game and make every trip unforgettable? Get ready to revolutionize your adventures with Passport Bros app, your ticket to turning passion into profit. With Passport Bros, your travel videos and posts aren't just memories, they're money makers. Share your awe-inspiring experiences with the world and watch your bank account grow with every click. But wait, there's more. Connect with a vibrant community of fellow explorers, where camaraderie knows no borders. Exchange insider tips, forge lasting friendships, and create memories that last a lifetime. And that's not all. Gain access to exclusive discounts on accommodations, from cozy boutique hotels to luxurious resorts, ensuring you can travel in style without breaking the bank. So why settle for ordinary when you can experience the extraordinary? Join the Passport Bros app today and unlock a world of adventure, connection, and endless possibilities. Download the app now and let the journey of a lifetime begin.
Download now on the App Store and Google Play.
All right, man, we are live. Welcome, family, to another show. It is your man, BMT, and we got a great, informative show for you guys today. I want to welcome my man, Flight Madness, to the building. What up, Flight?
Hey, man. Good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, good evening, good morning. What time is it out there? Where you at?
All right, so I'm back in Thailand now. I was in Bali for a few days, and right now it's about to be 12:50 a.m. It's officially Wednesday.
Oh, so how was Bali, man? You know, a lot of guys be out there in Thailand, but first off, just give us some logistics real quick. Like how long was the flight from Bangkok to Bali?
It was surprisingly long. It took like 5.5 hours direct flight, which was surprising to me because in my city in China, it takes like 3.5 hours to get to Bangkok, which is like, so I'm in like the southern part of China. Then I get to Bangkok, that's like Southeast Asia. But then Bali is still technically Southeast Asia, but it's pretty far away from everywhere else. So yeah, it took me a while to get there. And I was traveling with some friends. And yeah, Bali was interesting. To be frank with y'all, I think that if you're the kind of guy, like if you're a black guy who likes white women, I think Bali is probably perfect for you because like I saw way more white women than I did local women. It's like pretty crazy. Like the amount of white people there, it was really shocking. I barely saw any local women, any like local Balinese women besides the women who worked in the stores.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, if you like white women, that's your place because they're there on vacation and there's tons of them.
Okay. So Bali is more set up to where it's more like a foreigner enclave. Like it's like more like that. Like you're not really interacting with the locals like in Thailand where you know dealing with the Thai women and all that. You pretty much are sectored off in a little area and you're just dealing with the other foreigners.
Yeah, that seems to be the case. I did have a nice situation with a local girl that I met at one of the nightclubs there. But other than that, my experience was like, I mean, look, there were like so many Koreans there, like Koreans. I met a Korean girl there also, Chinese, and then what? A lot of people from Singapore, man. I think a lot of Asians, they work in Singapore and then when they're on vacation they come to Bali. I met so many girls who were like, they say, oh, I work at this Singapore company and I'm here they're just here on vacation, and the rest of them were just like majority like white from like Australia or the countries where a lot of white people are. And yeah, that was interesting.
Okay. All right. So I'm pretty sure everybody pretty much speak English out there. It's not like no type of language barrier or anything like that.
Yeah, it was pretty straightforward.
Would you live out in Bali? Like, would you, if you had a choice to choose between, let's just say Bangkok, Thailand, Bangkok or Pattaya, or Bali, which one would you choose? Because I see a lot of guys kind of moving towards Bali once they've been in Thailand.
I think Bali is good for like maybe the quality of foreigners there is pretty high, like the types of people. So for example, in my city in China, the quality of foreigners is pretty low. It's like we don't really have lots of like successful business people in my part of China. And in Thailand, it seems like the quality of foreigners is a lot higher. Like in Bangkok, it's much higher, and in Bali, maybe it's the highest because I think that's the kind of place you go to just to like network and like live a healthy life and work. Because they don't really have like the party scene is really good. Like they have an amazing party scene, but it just seems like the types of foreigners who want to go there are like they're kind of more business minded, I would think, and yeah, but Thailand definitely kills Bali. Like Thailand is, Bangkok is way better than in my opinion. But Bali is good to go to if you want to like focus on your health and maybe focus on your business. Don't want to spend too much time chasing girls, like the types of people who go to Bali are those kind of hippie people who they want like the vegan, organic, gluten free. Like all the restaurants there is crazy. Like they all like say, "Hey man, we organic," blah blah blah, and super healthy place. So it's a great place to go to focus on your health.
So it's like a foreign Karen heaven, basically.
Yeah. Like those types of white women you imagine who they got to eat their kale salad and their organic blueberry smoothie. There's a lot of that going on. They meditate by the beach in the mornings and do their yoga. So yeah.
Did you see Russell out there? Russell Simmons?
I didn't, but I know he's big on yoga, right? He lives out there now. Did he like relocate?
Man, they were trying to put a Me Too case on Russell from the stuff he was doing in the 80s and 90s. Russell said, "The hell with that, you got the hell on." I don't know why other guys don't take that advice, but yeah, apparently, supposedly he's in Bali. And another guy said he was at a party with Russell. A guy I played ball with said he was at a party with Russell out there in Bali. Let me see what's going on in the chat, man. We in here kind of heavy, man. Shout out to my man, Mr. Dawkins, the Navigator. That's a dope name, by the way. Says, "Good afternoon, brothers and others. Good afternoon. Good afternoon." We got my man Burt Ross always checking in. Shout out to my man Burt Ross, man. He's always putting up dope ass content in the app. I've always told that story about seeing Burt I think I was in like a hole in the wall club in Brazil, way off the beaten path. And I saw my man with the Paradise Life shirt on, man. So shout out to my man Burt. He be out there. He's a true passport, bro. All right. Shout out to the best of us. Hamburg is lit. Yes, it is. All right, Kevin Justice says, "Good to see you, Flight Madness." By the way, what's going on? Wonderful travels. What's good? What's good? Says salute BNT in the chat. What's good? What's good, man? Andre from Andre and Love Crossing Border says Bali is white digital nomad capital. That's very true. It's crazy, man, because I don't know if you like this. It may be just me and dealing with so many things and situations that's happened in these little expat groups or whatever. I don't really be trying to just kind of just kick it with the Americans like that. You know what I mean? Like I'm not really with them. I mean, it's cool. We can hang out. Westerners, we all speak the same language. We kind of come of a certain type of culture, so it's cool. Like when I was in Colombia, I was hanging with Canadians and all that stuff. But it seemed like the Americans kind of still bring that drama and that trauma with them. You know what I'm saying? So I really don't. To be like, even here in San Domingo, like there's other Americans around, and my girl always be like, "Oh, this guy's American. You can go hang with them and all that." I'd be like, "Man, I don't feel like hanging with no damn Americans, man." Like, you know what I'm saying? So there's always some because you meet so many different personalities overseas, and you associate with people you probably wouldn't normally associate yourself with, right? Because these areas that we're in all over the world are relatively small, so we kind of run in the same circles, right? Especially in like Medellin, where if you don't speak Spanish, you definitely run in that same expat circle because you're more comfortable with people that you can communicate with. So that's why I kind of like step back away, man, because it was always like drama within it's drama now, as you can see in Thailand. It's drama now within these expat communities, man. And it is what it is. Like every community has their little drama queens, is what I call them. But it just hits a little extra harder when you're in a foreign country. Because you know exactly what's going to happen if you are in a situation in America. You know that some police going to get called. It could be civil litigations. Overseas, there's this X factor. Like you don't really know what'll happen if you fight another foreigner in a foreign country. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you just don't know. Like these cops overseas are no joke. No joke. I mean,
Yeah.
corrupt isn't the word. Corrupt is. I got some stories to say about each and every country that I've been in, as far as being shook down by police. You know what I'm saying? Like even in, I'm not even gonna say the country, but even in Asia, it's a very nice shakedown, but it's still a shakedown. All right. Shout out my man Roman Travels in the building. I was on him in the show with Andrew, man. Sorry, my internet cut off. I told Andrew that my internet cut off on you guys, man. So sorry about that yesterday. But shout out to my man Roman Travels in the building. He says, "Yep, Karen Heaven, for sure." I got Alex McCullough with a $5 super chat. I heard that you can buy your citizenship for $100,000 there. You heard anything about that? I'm assuming he's talking about Bali.
Bali. It seems I think I remember hearing something about that. I mean, probably, a lot of these, we're going to talk about this later in the show, but a lot of these countries are coming up with like things to try to attract us foreigners to come there and maybe like spend money or stay there a little bit longer because, they need that foreign income, like these digital nomads coming over, throwing down lots of cash, paying way more than locals would pay for something. So they're definitely going to offer more incentives, which is good for us. It's good for us people who want to live overseas. Hey, Aaron, I think your sound cut off. I don't hear you.
Yeah, these countries are starting
Okay.
to compete almost on, I guess, the Western dollar, if you want to say, because it's not like they just love Americans like that. You know what I mean? Like they really want us to come in their country and spend money within their economy. So all these countries are starting to kind of come up with digital nomads. I'm real surprised about Thailand. I can't wait till we go over what's going on in Thailand with their visa situation.
Yeah, yeah.
Man, know music in the music. He says, "What's up?" I think Brazil got a nomad visa out there too. RB said, "We're gonna get to this subject in a minute." Austin, the only one struggle dating abroad. Yeah, we got a lot to say about Austin and his struggle dating. Like, shout out to my man Austin, but man, when you got such a big platform like Austin, he has a pretty big platform and a reach, and a lot of people assume that because he does get good information, but you have to separate a person's personal experience from a general experience. And that's what we're going to talk about today, because we're gonna get into it. We got like a real deep conversation today that we're gonna have to really speak on. We're gonna wait till a few more people come in the room, but we're gonna really get into the mix of country hopping and dating at the same time and thinking you know about the ins and outs of dating within that culture. We're gonna really get deep into it because people assume they know, but they don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't know. And I think sometimes the lines get crossed when, and I'm not saying this about anybody, definitely not saying this about Austin, but I think the lines get crossed when you're dating in certain areas of these countries, right? Where women can kind of flip a switch and go from pay for play to regular date. You know what I mean? So a lot of these guys are maybe under the assumption that they're dating a traditional woman when they're really dating a woman that's the nightlife, like the party, like they're dating party girl and street workers basically, and they're assuming that those are the women of that country when in general it's not. And we can go from Colombia to DR to Brazil. A lot of these traveling YouTubers are dating certain types of women and saying that that's how the women are in these countries. So
yeah,
we talk about it. I don't be meaning to get long-winded, man, but it's just like I gotta really say what it is out here because it's a big difference in staying in the country, being in the country for 7 to 8 months at a time, dating a woman, or just kind of hot skin? Big difference, huge difference.
Mm.
Bert Ross says 60-day visa extension in Thailand. Let's go ahead and jump onto that. We got enough in room. We almost got 100 in room. Shout out to my man Jay Clyde. Mr. Jamosa says, "What up, BMT and Danny? Just arrived in the Philippines for a month. I know Danny doesn't like it here, but I love it." What you got to say about that, Danny? What's going on, man? You know why?
I mean, look, I'm willing to give the Philippines a second try, but it's not high on my list, right? It's like I've been to Thailand 3 times before I came this time, so this is my 4th time in Thailand. My experience in Thailand this time is way more amazing than my previous 3 times here combined. Maybe the amount of good times I'm having here is really great, and the quality is spectacular over here. So maybe I could have judged it wrong, but I was in the Philippines for like 2 weeks, y'all. I was trying really hard to like the place. I seriously doubt that what I'm getting here in Thailand, I'm gonna find that in the Philippines, because the action I'm getting over here in Thailand, and I've been bouncing between Bangkok and Pattaya. I got a girl that I'm gonna go see maybe this Thursday in Bangkok, and I'll bounce back to Pattaya. I'm working the streets. I'm getting those miles, and I just didn't see that happening in the Philippines, y'all. But hey, I know a lot of guys love it, so yeah, it is what it is.
All right. I got another comment here, man. Shout out my man Grego in the building. I also want to wish Grego, my bad, I missed out on Sunday. I had a lot going on Sunday, brother. But happy birthday to my man, Good Time Grego. It's cancer season, man. Shout out to all the cancers. I'm cancer myself. My birthday was like a couple of like 2 weeks ago. So shout out to the cancers, man. Cassidy the sex doll says Austin ain't got the riz he claimed he has. All right, shout out to Cassidy the sex doll. All right, JB Design say if your preference is the Keisha archetypes, bro, I swear I made that name up. Passport Keisha. Damn, bro, I've been telling you, boy, dudes when I coin a little phrase, it take off, man. If your preference is the Keisha archetype and you don't vet well, you get the same nasty work that you get in America. You got to get into the refined circles, leave the hood mindset. Guys, you absolutely right. Like I said, we got a good topic. We're going to definitely discuss this after we touch up on the visa, Thailand visa. Shout out to my man Ed Travels in the building. Shout out to my man Ed, man. What's good? BMT Live. To keep it 100, a bar girl in Asia will treat you better than a Keisha in the States. I'm gonna think on that one. Danny, you want to address that?
I 100%. I mean, look, I haven't dated a black woman in a long time, guys, but basically, the treatment that I get from like bar girls here
Where's Dr.
in Asia.
Umar? I got to get a little Dr. Umar little sound. But go ahead, bro.
Yeah. I mean, they give you some. You get your money's worth over here, guys. Like I never feel ripped off over here in my experience. You get your money's worth. Like buying a drink for a girl or like paying that little bar fee. It's worth it. Get your money's worth over here. But I know a lot of guys feel like they're not getting their money's worth in America. So yeah.
That's interesting, man. The treatment, bar girl. I don't know, man. I don't know. Shout out to Shings. He said I expect Zed to show up. We'll see. We'll see if Zed shows up, man. Austin goes to McDonald's and complains about the Whoppers.
Okay.
All right, shout out to my man Yoga. Me and Yoga, we're gonna have to do a whole stream about that fight, man. We're gonna do a whole stream about that. All right. JB Design says Bali, Thailand, Morocco, Belize, and Peru are the promised land for black men. Bag a baddie, build a network, and build black Wall Streets in these places. JB Designs, I absolutely agree with you there, sir. I absolutely agree with you there. All right. So let's get right to it, man. Let me put this little information up real quick. Hold on, that's the wrong one. Let me put this up, and Danny can kind of explain what he knows about what this is going on thus far. All right, so it says Thailand new visa measures, destination Thailand visa the DTV. You want to explain this to us?
Yeah, are we able to zoom in some? Like, I can give you guys a pretty good overview of what's going on.
All right.
All right, good, great. All right, so the part that concerns us, like if you're like an American, the thing that you probably care the most about is that so they have extended the visa stay, like the visa on arrival. So we have visa exemption. So I have a friend, he's Canadian Chinese. He just arrived in Thailand and he already got the 60 days now. Before, guys, it was only 30 days. So you had to run back and forth every 30 days to try to extend. Now they got 60 days on it. So that's really, really convenient. Especially for me, I'm planning on spending my summers and winters in Thailand at least, and probably a lot more time than that. But yeah, that's something that affects all of us pretty much immediately. So now you don't need to leave Thailand every 30 days. You can just leave every 60 days, which is nice. And you don't need it's free. Like you're not paying for any visa. Just maybe you have to pay for an extension when you hit the 60-day mark, but basically they're making it a lot easier to stay in Thailand without needing a lot of paperwork. So that's one of the first things for all you travelers. BMT, do you have anything to say about that part?
No, that's pretty basic. That's pretty much, every 60 days. I'm assuming you can do an extension or you got to do a border run after the 60 days.
Yeah, that seems to be the case. And
okay.
The thing that a lot of people are excited about is the DTV visa, the Destination Thailand visa. And for this one, I'm not sure the qualifications. Like, are they gonna what are they gonna check your income or how much your bank accounts, et cetera, et cetera? I don't know. Probably they're not. It's not going to be too extensive, because if it's too extensive, maybe a lot of people won't do it. But it says the fee is about 10,000 baht, which is how much? Let me pull out my calculator real quick.
$300, like around $300.
10,000 baht? Really? That's one. Oh yeah, you're right. About $280. Yeah. So that's 10,000 baht, which I think is a good deal. So you get to stay for 180 days. You get a one-time extension of the stay. So I guess that means that this one kind of is still in the air. They don't know, like, hey, can you extend every year, or is there a limit to how much you can extend? Or can you only extend once every 5 years? So does this mean that you can only stay in Thailand 180 days out of the year? This is still, they're still releasing information, y'all. But yeah, it's nice that it seems that they're actually acting on this, because a lot of people got hyped up when Thailand put out the news a couple weeks ago about the visa changes. And I think the government, they have a what do you call it, reputation for not really taking action on the things that they say they're going to do. But it seems like they're actually taking action on this, and it's already in effect. So yeah, it looks pretty good for Team Thailand. If you're trying to come over here and stay over here. Oh yeah, guys, and I gotta tell you right now, Thailand isn't really as overrun as y'all think it is. Because right now, it's like a slow season over here. So I was at the gym earlier today. I like to go to one of the big gyms here, and it didn't really have that many people there. It was like, I was surprised. I was like, last time I came here, there was a lot more people there. You showing that?
No. I was trying to show this, but my bad. Let's go.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So basically, what was I gonna say? Yeah, basically, it's kind of a slow season, and there's not many people here. Like the bars, like the women who work at the bars are kind of going hungry, man. Like there's not any guys over here like the way it is during the busier season. So was BMT Live? Are you Nigerian? Okay, wow. Yeah. So basically,
let me address that real quick. Shout out to my man G Clyde. It was a stream. Somebody did a stream today and claimed that I'm Nigerian. Guys, I am not Nigerian. If I was Nigerian, I would let people know that I was Nigerian. But my name is Aaron Ferris. That's my government name. I'm FBA all the way, straight from Atlanta, Georgia. Went to private school, Martin Luther King private school. So let's get that out the way. People just claiming, put all types of stuff on it. You're a Nigerian scammer, all this bullshit. No, I am Black American. All right. Someone said, "Hold on, shut up, my man." He said, "I thought he was Dominican, but Nigerian makes sense." Nah, man, nah, dude, just be lying, bro. That comes from that little troll dude that Richie Mac got into it with. That dude just be making up shit. There's nothing Nigerian about me, bro. All right, we put that out there in the open. Somebody said, "Yeah, it did say I was a Nigerian scammer." It's funny, but nah, I'm Black American. Yeah, all day. All right. Somebody, hold on. Shout out my boy Dre Kids. I knew you was Nigerian. Hello, man. Just kidding. Yeah, man. You know we from the A. You know we from the A town. All right. Shout out to the Tedder. I opened up a whole can of whooping. All right. Last week they said, what does it say? It's Aaron T'Challa from Wakanda. Aaron Ungombala. Nah, man. Ed Travel said, BMT Live, Aaron's from Atlanta, Candler Road, all the way. Yeah, I am. Yeah, I am. I don't have no Africans in my family or anything like that I know of. We just Black Americans, bro. We just foundational Black Americans. That's what we are. All right. But yeah, let's continue, man. Let's continue. I ain't even get off that little segment. So basically, Thailand has extended their visa. This is really, really good news. It might not seem like a big deal, but this is big deal, especially for guys that want to stay out in Thailand. Because I'm telling you, dealing with immigration monthly is hella annoying. It's about $40 every time you go to immigration to renew your 30-day visa. So I don't know what's that? 40 times 10, $400, 12, 2 times that. What's it like? $480 a year. Pretty much stay in Thailand. You gotta go through a long ass line. All right, you're sitting in line all day, and you gotta do border runs. Now the Cambodian border runs aren't that bad. They pick you up early in the morning, right from your spot, front door. You haven't had a chance to do a Cambodian border run, but it's like a 3-hour ride in a little bus, man. You chilling, you sleep halfway there, throwing some headphones, go to immigration in Cambodia, right on their little line, and you just kind of do a little turnaround. So it's actually not that bad, but this is dope. I can't wait. To get out there. All right. I can't wait to get out there. But let's talk about the subject at hand now, Dan. Let's talk about it because your man Austin's been kind of on this tear that they don't like pretty much Black guys overseas. Now I know you haven't been to Brazil, and I think he's talking about mainly because he was in Brazil with the cat. I think he was in Sao Paulo with I forgot the white dude's name, but shout out to him too. He was on the Fresh and Fit show, and Austin was kind of complaining about the treatment and saying that the women don't want Black guys, and he was saying discrimination and prejudice and colorisms, which they do have that in South America. But generally speaking, South America and the Caribbean tends to be kind of like the brothers, kind of like the Black passport bros kind of playground. And Asia is kind of like the white guys' playground. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of like the general consensus that is out there. You know, have you heard anything different?
I say generally, yeah. I mean, it's okay in that having white skin and European features can give you an advantage over here because that seems to be part of the beauty standard. But I'm telling you guys, I've met a lot of girls recently, who say I'm their type, which is I don't really have an ego about my appearance. Like I don't really think I'm that I'm definitely not like a supermodel or anything, but it's always nice when you meet hot girls who like tell you like, hey, you're my type, et cetera, et cetera. And I'm getting this from girls who I'm not, I don't have to spend any cash on really. But yeah, generally, I could agree with that. Like, okay, white guys have the advantage over here in Asia just based off having white skin or lighter skin. But I think that's about it. I don't think, it's too big of a thing. It hasn't been a big thing for me anyway. I'm doing pretty well over here, but yeah.
Okay, cool. And my man Ed Charles meant Camilton Road, not Camilton Road. He meant Camilton Road. That's where I'm from, Camilton Road, all right? On the west side of Atlanta. My man said Austin is trolling, all right? According to certain YouTubers, being Black man overseas is terrible. Yeah, I mean, kind of speaking on his experience, I've been around Austin with women, and Austin's one of them guys. And I mean, I think maybe he knows this, but Austin's one of them guys that kind of like, and we've all had these type of guys that talk their way out of the woman's good graces. You know what I'm saying? Like that generation, the social generation. I come from a cold approach generation. I don't know what generation, you much younger than me, but I just come from a generation where we had to approach women to a certain degree. That's a whole other a subject about approaching women. Because now we got this whole red pill, black pill space where it's just like, guys, chase your goals, guys, do this. And that's all relevant. Stay on your purpose. We get all that. That's 100% factual and true. But it's kind of like being disingenuous to a certain degree when you say that men aren't supposed to chase women. Listen, men always chase women. Every animal creature in the animal kingdom will peacock for women, bro. Bears fight over women. Like animals do their little dances. They show their little feathers for women. It's natural. It's very natural for a man to see a beautiful woman and pursue her, right? Whether that's spending time with her, talking to her, running. I guess you want to say running game, Danny, on her. Like that's the natural order of things. That's what it is. So, that being said, yeah, you got to pursue pretty women. Pretty women like to be pursued. That's what it is. That's normal for them. All right.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what's so funny, Azrael? You said I look Dominican. I get that all the time, bro. I really do. I don't think I look Dominican, but Dominicans think I'm Dominican. Like when they find out I don't speak Spanish, they just be like, "You don't speak Spanish? Like you're not Dominican?" And I do speak a little Spanish. It's just when they hear my accent, they just like, "Oh shit, this guy's obviously American." But Black Man Travel says black men need to be more realistic with their dating options and expectations. All right, so what do you mean by that, Black Man Travels? Because I think that, especially in South America and Colombia, now we all have dated beautiful women in the States. I get it, but like, what are you trying to say? Because you're gonna date some of the most beautiful women in the world in the DR in Colombia. Like you're gonna have access to some of the most gorgeous women in the world, hands down. And you might not think that you're worthy of dating a woman so beautiful, but that's what it is. I even had my passport bro wake up moment, Danny. My passport bro wake up call. You know what a passport bro wake up call? Passport bro wake up call is when you got a dime piece and you didn't spend a whole bunch of money, right? You didn't have to, or you didn't have to do no pay for play. It's when you attract a beautiful woman that's generally interested in getting to know you, and you did the physical thing with her as well. That's a passport bro wake up moment to me. When you like, damn, this bitch beautiful. Like she walking around your crib cooking, you just like, damn. Like NBA players would fall, go head over heels over this woman. But this is just normal. This is just normal stuff that passport bros kind of do. So that's why I need to ask you. And Black Man Travels, I think you might be at work, bro. But if you want to pull up, you are welcome to pull up. Because I got a little smoke for you anyway. All right. So shout out to my man, Black Man Travels. All right. Shout out to my man, it's Dre the Kid. Austin is cool and all. But from my Colombian experience, bruh is in the struggling category of gringos here. They either mad or they cap. Stick to weekend warrior activities and be happy with that. See, this is the thing. And me and Dre talk about this all the time. When you spend 2 weeks or a month or 2 months and you're speaking to traditional women, there's a lot of traditional women in Colombia, despite what people think of the hot mama Colombian woman, the hot chica. Once you get outside the little gringo hunters, the tourist circle, you got to actually date these women. You got to actually court these women. These women aren't just hopping around from gringo to gringo like that. You feel me? So I think that Austin experience is, like you said, it's the typical gringo experience to a certain case, especially if you don't speak that native language. It could be possibly a struggle. And Austin believes that, he's going to woo a woman with just his looks. And that could be the case. You did woo her, you attracted her, but what's past the looks? They're trying to figure out, okay, because in traditional dating, these women are dating for an end game quickly. They get in relationships on the assumption that they're going to get married. So it goes from dating, boyfriend, husband, real quick, like in 6 months out. Like they don't play no games, especially if a woman's over like 23, 24. They locking it down. You be the family. Like it's not like back in the States where you pretty much hopping around and switching women like furniture. You feel me? Like you
Mhm.
switching in America, we got what I call flings in America. Not necessarily she's a whore or you necessarily a player. It's just that's the norm in America. That's our dating culture, hookup culture. All right. Let me shout out my man Rich Guy with $20 super chat, man. I really appreciate that. He says Austin has sexual addiction, extradition. Let me just say that. And if he doesn't have any luck with a woman on the first date, he blames it on his race. Men need to understand that they still have to provide value and have a personality even overseas. All right. That's very true, man. Because like I said before, I've been around Austin, and I tell Austin, it's me, Austin, cool. But I'd be like, Austin, don't talk yourself up out of it, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you don't got to tell a woman that you're stoic. Just be stoic. Like, I've heard Austin say that. Like, yeah, I told her I'm stoic. I don't do this, I don't do that. I'm like, bro, just show it. Show, not tell. You gotta make a woman feel like the biggest thing you gotta do is make a woman feel comfortable enough to open up to you. Then once she opens up that door to you, now you can kind of figure out how you can. I don't want to say the word manipulate, Danny, but you can figure out how you can. What's the word we want to say?
Persuade.
Persuade her, coerce her to place you as the number one guy in her life. Let's put it that way. Because I don't care where you go out in these countries, a beautiful woman has suitors and orbiters around her. It is what it is. Now, we in countries full of beautiful women, but there's still things you need to kind of learn, even in Thailand, even in these countries. You need to kind of observe and learn the culture and speak with a local guy and a local woman about what's the general social norms of dating in said country. Austin can't provide you that. He doesn't know. He's not going to know, especially if it's a language barrier that you're dealing with. So in Brazil, it's going to be difficult, right? Colombia, it can be very difficult. You know what I mean? It can be difficult. That's just the truth. But that doesn't mean you can't get what you want. Somebody said you're Dominican color. You know what, Joseph? It's really weird, but Dominican women say like, "Oh, I like your complexion." I'm like, "What the hell does that mean?" And I have to remind them that I'm black. It'd be a whole conversation in the DR about skin complexion. I don't even want to go down that road, Danny. But it's a whole Danny. You consider to be Dominican, right? So it'll be weird. It'll be weird when you're like talking to a girl or something, speaking your broken Spanish. Come as fast. Esta tarde is like, how you doing this evening? You just chopping it up, and she's like, "Oh, your skin is beautiful. Oh, you just that. Oh, you're not Dominican. Oh, I thought you were Dominican." And I'd be like, they're like, "So what are you? Like?" I'm like, "I'm black American." "Oh no, you're not black. Like black. Like oh, you're not black." I'm like, "Motherfucker, I'm black American. I don't know what the fuck you want me to say. Like, I'm black American." All right, shout out my man Black Man Charles in the building. Says being a gentleman and showing interest go a long way with women overseas. Man, you got to kind of pursue these women, dog. I ain't gonna hold you, especially Brazilian women. And I think that's where Austin is getting everything messed up and confused to a certain degree. Like he's thinking that we're back in the States where you can just kind of pull up and be like, "Hey, let's go out to eat, let's go home and smash." So that doesn't happen. They don't like black guys. Because he's around white dudes in these countries and they're probably smashing, right? Granted, and don't get me wrong, I ain't gonna hold you. I gotta say some truth to what Austin's saying because one of my white guy friends in Brazil, man, he be running through them, bro. The black chicks in Brazil. Dude my man looked like a Hell's Angel, tatted everywhere, tats up everywhere, the rocker look, beard, big as hell. And that's all he messed with is black chicks and Asian chicks. He don't even mess with white chicks. And he had a lot of luck. Let's just put it that way. All right. Black Man Charles said being realistic on expectations and the importance of communication, which is very important. All right, my man Justin Holmes says BMT. I'm in Perth, Australia. go to Australia, man. That's just like an 8-hour flight from Thailand. Heading up to Tasmania tomorrow. Then I will wrap up my trip in Sydney. There are no brothers here. Haven't bumped into a single one. Justin, man, let us know what's going on. We need a trip report, man. If you're on the app, definitely post some photos or something, or in the group, post some content because I'm very interested. You know, it's crazy because I've talked to guys that go from Thailand to Australia, like an 8-hour flight. They got a direct flight coming out of Bangkok to, I believe, Sydney, I think. And I've heard different things about Australia. I've heard two different sides of Australia. I heard the indigenous women are beautiful, and I heard that the indigenous women are not. So I don't know who to believe.
Hey, really quick on Australia. So like when I was in Bali, I had some pretty interesting experiences. Australian men, they have a reputation for being pretty aggressive. And I think when I was out there in Bali, like we were in the restaurant, me and my friends, and these two Australian guys at the table behind us, they were talking like super loud, like banging on the table, like where's my food? One guy was freaking throwing glass. Apparently in Australia, the men, they like to throw glass. I don't know what it is. It's some kind of weird cultural thing, but they bust glass against the wall. So a lot of the bars in Australia, they use plastic glasses and cups because like when the Australian guys get into fights, they freaking bust each other over the heads with bottles. So they just changed everything to plastic to help stop that. But yeah, man, like you talked about earlier, like getting into fights with people. I had a couple situations where like, some guys were being pretty irritating. I thought maybe a fight might break out, but luckily no Australians were harmed. But yeah. Oh, you're muted, BMT.
My bad. Me and my boy California Carter had got into it with a Aussie out there in Thailand. We had got into it because he was being real, like rude, disrespectful. And I guess because he was by himself and we had some pretty Thai girls with us that was vibing with us. He wanted to kind of, bully out. He probably was steroid up. A lot of guys be on steroids too. A lot of older guys in their 40s, 50s that be muscled up like that. That shit don't be natural. They be steroid out. So they be trying you, bro. So you got to be careful. Like some of them guys be really with that bullshit. All right. Let me catch this. Brandon Clark, Stocks and Passports. He's also a member. Shout out to you. Most guys get 4 out of 4s and 7s out of 10s. Nothing wrong with that. Dime pieces are a headache. Dimes are overrated. Yeah, that's true, Brandon Clark. But does that apply to overseas? Because our versions of 4s and 7s would be. Hold on. How do I explain this? The overseas women, the Colombian and Brazilian women, and the DR women, their 4s and 7s would be 6, 7s, and 8s for us in America. That makes any sense? Like the ranking is different. And I have to remember that sometimes. I have to remember that, okay, she's beautiful, but here, she's like a 6 or a 7 here. Because, dude, you got some straight stallions out here in the DR, bro. You got some straight stallions. You got some women that you see, you be like, damn. You be like, yeah, like what Brazil got it like that too, and definitely Colombia, but the DR, I think the Dominican Republic has the body, the complexion, and the face. They don't really have the hair though. Brazil, they got the hair. They got that curly fry shit natural. Like they got the Brazilian hair, of course. So all these women, gorgeous overseas. Shout out my man Eric Travels with a $5 super chat. He says, why do brothers travel the world but still focus on what Keisha thinks and say about them? Why do they care? Shout out to you, Aaron, for $5 super chat, but we're not talking about Keisha, bro. We're talking about Austin's statements about they don't like black guys overseas. We won't be talking about the Keishas per se.
So just to get back on this topic, okay, we're talking about black men overseas. Let me let you guys know. So I live in China, right? And one thing you gotta know is that a lot of the Asian countries around China do not like China. They do not like the Chinese. They don't like China.
Facts.
But
Facts.
yeah. Here's the thing, y'all. the reason they tolerate the Chinese, they tolerate them and they let them in their country and they welcome them with open arms, even if though they don't like them. The reason they do that is because Chinese people spend money. So Chinese people are spending money. So when it comes to like, okay, black men, how we're perceived overseas, and like, okay, racism against black men or racism against blacks in general, I guarantee you that a lot of that stuff would disappear if black people were spending money the way that some of these other races are spending money. Because, if black men were going overseas dropping like tons of bags and like, supporting the economy, it wouldn't be this kind of thing like, oh, like black men aren't loved overseas. Like I guarantee you, like they're gonna find a way to love you if you're supporting their economy. But yeah, that's just my opinion on that. It's kind of what I wanted to point out real quick. So trust me, like they might not like you or they might not like something about you. They might not like your behavior, but if you're supporting their economy, they're gonna definitely treat you with a lot more respect.
Yeah, you go in there with infrastructure like big bags. Yeah, they definitely gonna do that. Definitely gonna do that. That's one thing we got to improve on because each sector in Thailand, well, in Pattaya, it's like the Russian area. Then you got the the Indian area. So of course those governments are going to respect those groups that brought millions of dollars in building, about money and jobs to their country versus just a bunch of just tourists, running around fighting each other and shit. Of course they're gonna respect that more. Shout out my man, it's Jay Clyde. The building says these fellas really think overseas is automatic easy mode. Yeah, they do. I've always tried to be authentic and transparent when it comes to that. And I've always said that. Since I started these streams, I was always like, listen, man, you have to put in a little work in some of these countries now. It's still dating, like it's still relationships. Yeah, you got more traditional women overseas, and they're it's not as difficult or complicated as dating is in the States, but you still got to kind of put a little work in. And a lot of what's throwing things off a lot is these creep cam YouTubers and these girlfriend experience YouTubers that make this content and they're not truly transparent on how they obtain a relationship. I'm not saying no names, Danny, but that's what's going on too. So I think you have this sector that's formed under YouTube with that's kind of like they are saying some truths, but it's how they're going about it. Like they're trying to call guys out because those content creators aren't being 100% truthful about their relationships. But in my opinion, that's their business. You know what I'm saying? Like I keep my business kind of private too. But yeah, some of those guys are employing women to be their girlfriends on camera. That's kind of what it is. All right.
Yeah.
Rich guy says, I used to rock with Austin, but now he's trying to tarnish all black men's name because he can't smash on the first date.
We getting a lot of people talking about Austin today. I don't know, like, was that in the title? Like, I guess
no.
I don't.
Austin's been on this tear about they don't like black men overseas. So the title of the video is "Do they like black guys overseas?" Basically. So
like I watched Austin's video when he was talking about. I think I watched both of his videos where he was talking about his experience over there. Guys, so I'm not. Asia is the place where, like, okay, even like trust me, guys, like I don't really notice it too often. Like you're not gonna see like a white guy who's like out of shape and who's like not very physically attractive pulling better women than like a good looking black guy. So I think it's kind of overstated a little bit. Like pretty much here's what I'm gonna give to you. Yeah, they prefer whiter skin in Asia and European features. Bonus points if you come from like a country that has kind of high status or prestige. And like, okay, like a lot of the Africans who come over here, they don't have that look. They don't have like the look that maybe is preferred. And they don't come from like a richer country. And, a lot of them are engaged in kind of behavior that makes the rest of us look bad. So it's kind of they got stuff working against them compared to a white person. But generally, like I find I'm doing pretty well over here, y'all. Like, I'm not complaining about racism. Do I see like okay if I was white, would the percentage of women who like me probably be higher? Sure, but even without that, I'm doing pretty well. So I'm not really caught up on too much of it. But it's good to be aware, though. It's good to be aware of like the differences, right? Like it's like I've been having conversations with guys about game. It's like, okay, if you're a 6'5" guy who's in really good shape, you might not need game. You need to know that your life experience is going to be different than the guy who's like 5'9" and who isn't particularly physically attractive, right? So it's good to know, like, hey, okay, there's some things about you that are considered really attractive in some countries, and there are some things about you that maybe aren't as attractive. It's good to be aware of that. I don't think it's good to like just spend your time focusing on that and like, oh man, they have this one advantage over me. I think personally, I think height probably matters more than your race, and if we're talking about like approaching women in person, but that's just my opinion. I know some people disagree.
Okay, I got a question here from Tokyo, Brazilian. Says, is $5,000 enough for 5 days in Combina? Do you understand what Combina? You ever heard that?
I think he spelled
Combina.
it wrong.
It's
I think he
supposed to be
spelled.
Cambodia.
I think he spelled Colombia wrong.
Oh, that's supposed to be Colombia. Is $5,000 enough for 5 days in Colombia? Yeah. What you plan on doing in Colombia that you need $5,000 for 5 days for? All right, that's that balling. That's that J. Clyde budget right there. All right, Big Mike says BMT Live. The problem with Austin is that he expects regular chicks to give it up easy, despite him being in each country for 1 to 3 weeks. Exactly, that's 100% true. Cassie the Sex Doll says Austin gives off catty energy, and other women pick up on that. Well, all right, somebody said they love breaking glass in Europe too. Yeah, that's the thing. I don't know if you knew that, Danny, but even when I go to this Greek, it's not there no more. But when I used to go to this Greek restaurant, they used to throw a bunch of plates and glasses on the floor and shit. They'll give you a plate to throw it on the floor. It's real weird, but Austin can't bag a Brazilian 5. He's the problem. Okay. Also might pull up. I think he's live right now. Shot the sun is hot raw with a $5 super pound. Is I hate to tag black men with being socially awkward, but I'm starting to see in Austin's case with the way he's been coming off as of late. What do you think about that, bro? What do you think about black men being socially awkward? Because you do have a different type of black male that's moving overseas and spending long periods of time. I would say we all kind of different to a certain degree, right? But would you say that is that being socially awkward though? Because I don't think we socially awkward though.
I mean, it's good to keep in mind, y'all, that the types of behavior that American women expect is very different than like what will get you laid overseas. Like the way I talk to Asian women is basically like I'm talking to like a kind of like a middle school. I mean, this is gonna sound bad, but it's like okay, like when you're talking to an Asian woman, I'm basically like talking to the way I talk to her is like the way I'm talking to a child, kind of. And like I don't know about American women. Like I guess American women want more maturity or something, but generally, like you're kind of treating these women like they're kind of kids. So like the way I talk to them is kind of different. So I don't know. I the way I treat Asian women, I might be considered socially awkward or weird in America. Yeah, so I don't know if it translates. I think you got to be really, really weird, really socially awkward in order for the women over here to notice that because they might just say, "Oh, he's American. That's just how Americans are."
Mm-hmm.
Unless the girl has a lot of experience with Americans, she probably won't know too much that you're socially awkward. She might dislike you, she might dislike you, but she might just say, "Okay, maybe Americans are like that."
Yeah, it's funny, man, because I was in Brazil one time and I had met with a fellow content creator. I don't know what happened to his content. I don't know if he just went strictly for Patreon, but he had some real deep content and concern, especially of black men. What was his YouTube name? I forgot his YouTube name, but he had quite a bit of subs actually. and we all went out with some Brazilian women, and he was off-putting to them because he was kind of playing like the cool, back against the wall type, just got out of prison. Like he was trying to do the I'm a cool street nigga type vibe. I'm like, they don't really understand what you're trying to do. Like you're not being sociable. So you got to be kind of, even though it's a language barrier to a certain degree, you got to be a little sociable with the women. Like they don't understand that. Like you're trying to, oh, this cool street dude. I'm gonna just go to life. You trying to do it like that? I'm like, nah, bro. We not in Compton. You know what I mean? Like we're not in Brooklyn right now, dude. Like that doesn't work here. They don't know you. They don't know your hood reputation. Like, you can't do that overseas. You got to open up your mouth and communicate. They interested in getting to know an American. You come from a very popular culture, so you can play the little hood role. It might pique their interest, but at the end of the day, it comes off as being a little rude. I want to give a shout out to my man Dre the Kid. We got facts. You have to keep it 100 because a lot of these guys got the wrong idea and getting disappointed from watching so much content, not teaching guys. Just showing ass and jump on the plane with hope. Yeah, I mean, most guys that are showing content are pretty much showing pros. I've never had a pro in none of my videos. I've always, had regular women, so I can be, honest and transparent. Like, yeah, we met at a coffee shop, or even if we met on Tinder or something. This is a regular girl. I'm not gonna sit there and hire a pro and put it in my video and act like it's my girlfriend. I think that's corny, but dudes do that. And I'm not saying that about anybody in particular. Please don't give me no heat. I'm just saying that's what got a lot of guys confused.
So BMT dropped out. Yeah, man. It's a dirty game they playing on YouTube, man. They be pulling the wool over your guys' eyes. They trying to trick y'all. But hey, man, it's my girlfriend. But actually, nah, man, she's everybody's girlfriend. Eh? They just playing that. They trying to play the algorithm, man. They trying to. Oh yeah, he just told me. Aaron just messaged me, says internet just dropped out. Yeah, y'all. So talking about Bali again. Bali's good, man. If you want to focus on your health, focus on getting your life together, get some work done. Bali's cool. BMT, he's back, man.
I said Austin is a buster. Come on, guys. You guys doing it too much. Yeah, it's Dominican Wi-Fi, J. Clyde. It's Dominican Wi-Fi. What can we say? Oh man, y'all throwing our names in the chat. Let me see. I open up a can now. BMT get back to beautiful digital nomad heaven of Medellin, Colombia. Man, Medellin gotta get their shit together, man. All that damn drugging they be doing out there. You're proud of talking to women with childlike mentality. I don't know if that's what you was doing. I don't know if you want to talk about that, Danny.
I mean, sure. I mean, basically, I don't know how much interaction you've had with women, Big Will, but pretty much a lot of women under the age of like 27.
30. Yeah, 30.
Yeah, like from if we're looking at it from a kind of, what do you call it, like just a normal, like, non-emotional perspective, you might kind of compare them to children, kind of, in many ways. But everyone has their own childish side. But yeah. Yeah, I mean, in Asia, it's kind of more obvious, though. It's kind of more cute. Like the girls over here are more cute, and you treat them like your daughter or something, and yeah, it is what it is, man.
All right, shout out to Justin Holmes. BMT, I almost got into a fight with a Nigerian in Tokyo, Japan. Dude was trying to scam me. I felt for it. Thought we was all black narrative, and only to get finesse, I knocked him out. Okay, Justin. Okay, all right. Damn. Okay, you knocking out dudes in Japan and shit. Some of the dudes do be doing some. They do be on some sketchy shit. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. They be on some sketchy shit. Rich guy rich. Yeah, that's why you don't travel with passport pookies. All right. Somebody said Austin deserves to be roasted. Come on, guys. Shout out, man. Swab Prince in the building. What up, man? Haven't seen you in a minute. Since all love, BMT and Danny. Yeah, we in here, man. We got 155 in the room. Guys, do me a favor. Make sure you hit that like button. I know we kind of coming down off the Richie Rich and the Yum dude, But we back on business, man. We back on business. I don't want to get too distracted with a bunch of bullshit. And shout out to Richie. I mean, you gotta stay your ground, you gotta stay your ground. But we don't want to get that too much. Like, we don't want to just drag that out. But yeah, and let me tell you, in this space, man, dudes will lie. They'll say anything they can to besmirch your character, But if y'all rocking with me, y'all know that I'm pretty transparent. I'm pretty, legit. I said I was going to build an app, and we built an app, right? And that takes a lot of time, dedication. We currently, that's the full-time gig. I have a whole staff that works hard, man. We've been developing this new feature, Daddy, for the last 3-4 months, the new live feature. So you guys can be going live overseas, and it can be monetized. So we're going to have the whole super chat system that we have here now. We're going to have that on the live on the app. It's going to be really dope because we got guys going live. But, you can go live on YouTube, but you can really, really go live on our app, all right? On the app, so make sure you watch out for that. So obviously, you didn't knock out anybody. I don't know what you're talking about, man. BMT Live also needs to speak for himself. I've had the best dating experience abroad. Yeah, like I said before, when you're hanging with dating coaches and guys, it kind of preaches their narrative that you have to pay for their services abroad because obviously you're not getting what you want even abroad. Now, as far as the race issue, I will say that, would you agree or disagree that there is more colorism overseas than it is in the States? Or is it about the same?
So I left America back in 2014. So I didn't really have a lot of experience.
You've been gone for a minute, bro. Shit. I didn't know you left in 2014. What was you 12?
I was 21, 22.
Hey, you weren't playing no games with it. You was just man, I'm out.
Yeah, man. I looked out, yeah, man. It definitely drew me. But yeah, basically, what was the question? I just lost my train of thought.
No, I forgot what I was going to say. Colorism overseas.
Oh, yeah. I'm actually surprised. So I don't really have a lot of life experience outside of school, but I know maybe a lot of you guys who are in the workplace or who are trying to rise up in corporate America. Maybe you have a lot more experience with colorism and racism than I do. I never really felt. I've been around Black people for most of my time in America, so racism wasn't really the issue for me. It was us fighting and killing each other. It was the big issue for me. So I didn't really see much racism. But yeah, I don't know, y'all. I don't feel that way over maybe because I come from a wealthy country or something, or how I carry myself. Yeah, is there racism? Sure. Will people judge you based on your appearance? Sure. But I think that's I think it's normal for humans to do. They judge you based on your appearance and they have preconceived notions about you. But yeah.
Yeah, I would say where I'm at, there's definitely a heavy amount of colorism. I definitely understand, even with me in certain cases, I haven't been in any real incidents or anything like that, but I've had guys who are brothers that's Nigerian and Haitian. They said they had little incidents here in the DR in concerns of police and colorism, stuff like that. So that's unfortunate. But I want to welcome my man, is Dre the Kid, to the show. What up, Dre the Kid?
What's up, homie? Can you hear me good?
Man, we hear you good, man. I heard they don't like black men and bearing kid, man. What's going on, brother?
Yeah, that's what I heard too, man. So y'all don't.
I think your volume a little low. Dre.
All right, hold on. Let me get the volume up real quick.
Okay, let me catch the super chats while you do that.
Yeah.
I want to give a shout out to GC LA with a 5 super chat, man. I really appreciate that. It says Americans use our cultural perception of things to explain cultural differences in other countries. It does not always fit well. Let me read that one more time. Americans use cultural perception of things to explain cultural differences in other countries. It does not always fit well. Okay. That's true. Write that for me again because I might be missing. I think you got a word Just write that for me one more time, and I'll read again, GCLA. I want to make sure I'm getting that right. Shout out to D May in the building, $9 in Super Chat, BMT and Flight. Hey, man, I want to give a shout out to my man D May out there hooping out there in Thailand. He just got picked up by a squad out there, man. Shout out to you. I still got smoke for you, though, D May. You know, I got to play you one-on-one player. You know, that little, all that L1 stuff ain't going to work on your boy. So you gotta get to some business. I'm about to show you how you play basketball down south style. With all that fancy goddamn New York shit. All right. What up, Dre? What's good?
What's good? What the volume sound like now?
You coming through loud and clear, man.
All right. But no, yeah, they don't like black folks too much out here in Barranquilla, so y'all stay up out Barranquilla, man. It ain't safe for y'all.
Okay.
I'll just trolling, man. What's going on?
Yeah, we're just kind of, discussing this, Austin, shout out to Austin, man, but he's been on this, they don't like black guys overseas kind of tear. And I'm like, is it that it's black guys, or it's just that you just kind of country hopping, skipping, and the girls ain't putting out like you thought they was going to put out quickly?
Well, for the most part, I mean, like I was saying earlier by Austin, it's.
Hey, they saying sit close to the mic, Dre.
Oh, I'm not even using this mic. It's not even plugged up right now.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, what I was saying about Austin is, I mean, he's a cool dude and all, but at the same time, it's like he's just like a lot of these guys that pull up down here for the weekend, or they got multiple visits down here to Colombia, and most of your experience is with the same circle of women. Like you're not really dealing with the locals like you think you are. You can come down here 50 times and deal with 2,000 different women, and they all really from the same circle, same type of women, because you in the same areas, you in the same 3-4 square block radius in Medellin, thinking that's all of Medellin. You dealing with chicks that you done met online, that you meeting in that particular area. They interested in foreigners. They giving you attention as a foreigner. And what he's used to doing is kind of coming down here, not necessarily him specifically, but him and others like him come down here. You want a serial date, you want to, do all that other kind of stuff. And that ain't what it's like down here. And they get them bad experiences because you're dealing with the worst Colombians. So I ain't gonna say the worst Colombians, but those ain't the Colombians that Colombian men are choosing to be their wives. If that's what you're looking for, you coming down here talking about relationships, you're looking in the wrong spots, and you really ain't got the access to what you need because you don't know how to move correctly. You think you do, but you don't.
BMT, you're muted.
My bad. I saw it. It's not necessarily a racial thing. It's just that guys don't really know, or don't spend enough time in the right locations, or don't have the right network to date traditional women.
Yeah, because if you don't have enough time to come, like, first off, what they have to understand coming down here in this particular country is foreigners, which is us, gringos, have a bad reputation right off the bat. We're stereotyped. We only here for, what you would imagine people coming down here for on weekend warrior activities. So you're gonna have to get past that if you expect to be able to speak to a local. They don't care that you're American. They don't care that you got money. The ones that do, there's a reason they do. The difference is you're not going to be able to date that local normal chick because she ain't going to want to take you around her family nor her friends if you're going to be acting like how we act back home, how they perceive us to act as foreigners. We wild down here, all that other kind of stuff. It's embarrassing for her. She ain't finna bring you around none of them folks, which means she ain't really trying to date you like that, because in order for them to date somebody to begin with, they dating long term. They ain't trying to date you just for a couple months and you go back home and talk to her on WhatsApp and send her some money, bro. I don't know why y'all don't stop this game. I've been saying this for years now. The same cycle of the same type of dudes talking about I do this, I don't pay for this. Oh man, shut up. You cap, bro. You cap. I live here.
Facts, 100% facts. Everything changes when you tell them. We know this, Dre, that you live there.
Yeah.
I want to point out that Bruce makes a really good point too. People have to get established in countries sometimes. Country hopping doesn't let you get immersed in the culture. Like it or not, social circles matter. That's 100% true, especially in Colombia, where it's the way they kind of date in Colombia. So if you are dating a Colombian woman, her cousin might have a friend that's single. They'll hook you up with something like that. Like they, they'll do something like that. But in general, just kind of like walking up and clumping in the mall, be like, like I'm not gonna look at you like, what is this dude? Why you talking to me?
Yes, este hombre, ¿cuál es su problema?
Right. I remember in Brazil, my guy in the favela, he was trying to explain to an American guy why you shouldn't approach women, especially in the favela. He's like, bro, you don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, her boyfriend is a gangster. He'll just shoot you on sight just for talking to his girl. Like, you got to kind of know, you got to play the room a little bit. Like, bro, you're in a different country. It's not like in America, things are a little different.
Well, see, it's like, of course, you can come down and you're going to be able to meet people, and especially in those areas, and try to approach females like you do back home. The problem is you don't understand what's normal to them, what's attractive to them, and what they're used to seeing. So what you think you doing and how you move, and you come down here, you fresh and all this, you fresh back in the States. You don't know that you look like a barrier ninja. Like
hold on,
bro. To the rest of them.
Shots over here.
I'm just saying, I mean, I was the same way. So it ain't like, I'm speaking like I knew all this when I first came down here. I at least knew not to wear certain type of stuff, but when we was running around Medellin, I'm running around in blue jeans and soccer Colombian jerseys all the time. I thought I was blending in. I didn't realize until I started moving around the country more and spending more time around them that I'm in upper income areas, and they not really looking at me like that because of how I'm dressed. I got on blue jeans and a t-shirt and sneakers and stuff like that, thinking I'm cool, or I knew not to wear shorts in Medellin. Unless it was Sunday or you doing sports. But until I started being around them more, I could blend in a little bit better, so that the perception is different. You in an upper class area, but they looking at you like you ain't really got no money.
Right. Shot my man Will through in the building says, with $2 super chat, I really appreciate that. It says, what's good, BMT? Many Americans apply their U.S. mindset to other countries when in fact it's best to move in silence and observe. Paying attention is key. You have boots on the ground 6 to 12 months. Good point, Will of Thrill. Very, very good point. And it's definitely some cultural differences, I would say, for each country. Each country got their own thing going on. Danny's out there in Asia is much different in Asia than it is Colombia. If I had to choose which country it would be easier to date, that's a tough one. That's a real tough one. Because Thailand, they be really interested. Like the ones that are interested in brothers, they really interested in brothers. So I don't know. That's a difficult one. I wouldn't. Because I've met a dude in Thailand, and he goes from Bangkok to Medellin, back and forth, and he's been all around the world, and he literally told me that's two of the best cities in the world. So, I'm not sure.
See, we don't want people to feel like it's impossible. It's just just learn you can get better results than what you may be getting. If you've fallen into that category where you like, well, all they ever do is ask for money, they always begging, or you get to a country and man, the women ain't this or this, that, and the other. It might just be you the common denominator in that equation of these women, plural, to you singular. You the problem.
Man, you said something there, bro. Like I said, I've been. You know what's funny? Like you be around certain people and you see what they be doing wrong, and you want to tell them, but they just kind of.
Yeah, they ain't gonna listen,
They ain't gonna listen. Like we've all had friends to be like, "Hey, bro, you pulled her, but you talked yourself out of it." Like, I don't care how you look. If you make a woman feel bad, she's ghost. She's gonna ghost you. So you will on a date and you hurt the woman's feelings. You talking crazy because you think you communicating with her like you communicating with another man. No, bro. We harsh on each other. We can say to each other like, "Hey, bro, your breast stinking like a motherfucker, nigga." Like, the hell you doing? Like, we can joke around each other like that. That's what men do. That's what real friends do. A lot of guys don't even have real friends, but real friends call each other out. Like, bro, you was slipping right there. You want your A game. You gotta straighten the fuck up. Like, that's what real guys do, friends. You can't apply that to talking to a woman like that, bro. You gotta kind of put the poison in with the candy when it comes to communicating with them. I don't care where you at in this planet. Now, some guys can be direct; they might get away with it, but you got to be tactful on your communication skills with any woman, not just foreign women, but just any woman in general.
The homie in the chat, you see that? Kenny just popped up. What's up, homie? I just saw your video the other day.
Oh, Kenny, Passport Dog?
Yeah.
Oh, shout out to my man Kenny. It's been a minute, bro.
The homie.
Prof Gayu with the 5 super pound. Really appreciate that, bro. Says, salute to BMT and the panel from San Domingo. We met last week on the Malecon. Keep up the great work. Shout out to my man. We did be on the Malecon. We walked a minute too, man. We walked a good little minute. But yeah, there are definitely like some different social norms in these countries. And I would suggest one of the things you should do if you plan on being in a serious relationship is kind of link up with the guys that's already in relationships. Like, get a little information from them before you just kind of go out there and do it on your own if you can. You know, that's what I would suggest. We got a lot of people goddamn doing. Hold on, let me drop this link one more time. I think Kenny want to pull up. Papa Dog want to pull up. Supreme Lifestyle says Black women in the States still number one. We started with them like hip hop and are the essence and our sisters. They cool. Dudes forget the best days, 90s and 2000s. Yeah, I mean, I can agree with that. To a certain degree, but some people would disagree. I think culturally, yeah, we should be a match made in heaven, but we understand that dating is complicated in America because the roles have been kind of crossed up. So it might not seem like a big deal, but it is a big deal, bro. Like, it's a big deal when, women think they're playing the man role in the it's not going to work. You know what I'm saying? Unless you're a extreme beta dude who don't mind being a woman in a relationship, that shit ain't going to work. It's not going to work, bro. All right? Somebody said the 90s and 2000s are over. Right. They are over. Absolutely right. But Dre, you've been in a relationship pretty long. Would you say, and we won't get into any details, but what's one of the major differences you had from dating a Colombian woman and dating an American woman? What's like one of the big differences that you experienced? Now I say what my big difference was.
Well, with my wife and I, man, it's it ain't always been easy because how you were saying earlier, just how we communicate with each other and stuff, or how we joke. That could be one of them things to where I'm trying to joke around or say something, or it might come across a little harsh sounding, but you're really playing, and to them they're taking it as though with the language barrier. So I'm either gonna have to say what I wanted to say in English and say it in Spanish, and it don't translate the same. I'm thinking I'm saying what I want to say in English, but us, like, we can call each other, man, you stupid or something like that. Well, for us, that don't hit like that. That word don't have a whole lot of weight, but to them it does. So, just it's been a lot of differences that come up in communication, food, just cultural differences of what's important to them, certain holidays, and stuff that's important to us. Being able to learn, how you're supposed to act when you're out in public around other Colombians, what's normal. It's a lot to learn. You can't just show up and think that she needs to learn everything. Especially, we're not even living in the States. I'm in her country. So I need to learn what's normal to them, not what's normal to me.
Mm-hmm. Very true. My man, AJ Class makes a very good point, and I want you guys to realize that sarcasm doesn't translate too well with them. As Americans, we have like this little sarcasm, this little undermining that we be doing, going back and forth. Like when we say, hey, big head, what you up to? Like, we talk like that to each other. They do not understand that shit overseas, bro.
Mm-hmm.
What up, Passport Dog? What's good, bro? It's your first time on my show, man. What's good, bro?
The homie.
Good homie, bro. Been a long time no see, bro.
That's what's up. Yeah. It's been a minute, bro. I ran into you maybe about about 6 months ago, I think, in the park.
Yeah, it's been a minute. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I remember one time we ran into each other. Probably just about 6 months ago.
Right, facts, man. And you've been in Colombia how many years now?
About 2 years straight now.
That's
I
it.
usually leave during like Christmas time, but right now it's been over about 2.5 years now straight.
Okay, and as far as the subject of the show, I don't know if you want to speak on it. Have you had any issues dating, being a black man overseas in Colombia?
It's all the beauty about Colombia, especially, is abundance, man. So it's like you have unlimited options, and whatever your type is, you're gonna find it here. So it's really a numbers game. Like you just being overseas, you're in the perfect position to date as much women as possible, and it's really just a numbers game after that. So
okay,
by you just being overseas, man, you're in perfect position, man. Like they say, showing up is half the battle, bro. You being overseas by itself is half the battle. Like by you just showing up, by you just being here is half the battle. And after that, it's just a numbers game. You're gonna find what you want if you're here long enough and you network long enough. You'll eventually find everything you want.
Okay. So you said a point. I want to go back to what you said. If you're there long enough, right? Yeah. I think the issue that my man Austin is having is he's not really spending long periods of time in these countries to really establish relationships with these women.
Yeah, that's facts.
And I think he's confusing racism with that.
Or people think like you're gonna find your wife in a weekend. Like it's just unrealistic. Like even if you did find your perfect girl, by the time you leave, and like they say long distance relationships, they have a saying like una more lejos is una more pendejo. Like long distance relationships, dumbasses. Like right. So if you're not here long enough, or like these women are very loyal and they'll stick with you while you're here.
Okay, so hold on real quick. So how many times do you need to be in Colombia for a long-term relationship?
I say 3 months. You'll know after you have to date a person for like 3 months to really know somebody. And I say after 3 months, you should know like if this person is the one for you or not.
Okay, what if you are traveling there? Let's just say once every 2 months. Would that be enough? Once every 2 months, and you're there for a week.
That is good. I know people who come like quarterly, like quarterly visitors. Like you have to have some type of staying power, or like you're doing business here, or you're a frequent visitor. Like you can't. It's not that once a year guy. Like if you're here multiple times, I know people who they're like they come like quarterly, like every couple of years. Especially people who live in Miami or Florida, like they come quarterly. And that's better than the person who comes like once a year type shit.
Okay. Or doing like the online dating thing where they just
digital nomad. You're working online. You have some type of staying power. Hold on 1 second.
Okay, let me get a super chat real quick about Wonderful Travels with $4.99. That's a super chat, man. I really appreciate that. I'm gonna read this in my B-Dub voice. It's easier to fool a fool again than to show a fool he's been fooled. All right, let me stop playing. It's easier to fool a fool again than it is to show a fool he's been fooled. That's powerful as hell. Damn, I really read it seriously. That's very powerful. Wonderful Travels. Yeah, that's true. That's very true. I'm gonna give a shout out to my man T-Mac with $10 super chat. I don't down a brother's life as long as they are not causing harm. I live in Laureles. People are different, but my approach is to focus on business finance. That energy attracts women who respect that. Yeah, because Colombian women, we all know they like money. They like money, right? They about their bread now. Shout out to you, T-Mac, for $10 super chat. Danny, hop in there, man. You've been quiet for a little minute. I know we're talking kind of based on Colombia, but would you say the same applies for dudes that are dating in Asia like that? Like you have to be there to date an Asian woman and not be like going back and forth? Or are Asian women more loyal? Like they don't mind you being away for a while?
In my experience and the experience of most men that I know, they want you around. Like they want to spend time with you. Like the girls that I'm meeting here, like they want my time. If I had to like leave and go back to America for like 6 months, they're not gonna be happy about that. But the fact that I can come to Thailand basically every month, and I'm staying here for a pretty long time this summer, that really works in my benefit. If I had like, if I just smashed and left, I think I'm just gonna be forgotten. Like no matter how good the experience was, they want you around. If you're not around, it's like you kind of, it's not good. It's not good. So try to be around guys. Like I'm not a fan of long distance relationships, in my opinion. I've tried it, and it doesn't work for me. It doesn't work for most people.
Facts. I'm trying to move that little joke off the screen, but it froze. It says Austin was in Medellin for a few days and tried to set a course on it.
Yeah, and see that's the thing is like you get these guys like that with these channels, they making the content, the guys at home soaking it up back in the States, and then they come down here thinking that it's gonna be like how these guys are portraying it in these videos. And it's like, first of all, that person likely ain't even here long enough to be moving how they say they moving. And they have the access to the females you seeing for a reason. Money talks. So when you try to put yourself in these circles, or if you're not willing to learn the cultures and such of where you going and learn what's socially normal or not, just because we date, serial date in the States and can date a chick and be with her 5 years and y'all ain't married and all that don't exist everywhere. And you can't expect to go somewhere and just date this chick and you're not looking to marry her and think y'all finna still be together a year later, or you gonna pull up to this country and you gonna date her for a few months. I'm gonna date her for a few months. That don't work everywhere. That's a very westernized sort of thing. And that's stuff you gotta understand before you come pulling up in these countries blaming the locals for what you don't understand. You the one chose to come. They didn't come to you. You came to them.
That's a good point. That's a good point. And in all fairness, Austin is making some relevant points about colorism and colonialism and being in, because he was in Brazil. And I mean, I kind of got that. Like, you see most of the black Brazilians with like white Brazilians. It's like they want everybody to kind of mix in. So I did see a lot of that. But just to say that it's just they don't like black dudes totally, it's kind of like, it's a little off base. It's a little off base. And I think he's speaking more from his personal experience. He has to be, because, I don't think Austin knows, culturally, like a bunch of guys in Brazil. He's just hanging with white guys that might be attracting more women than he is. And he feels like, oh, it must be because I'm black. So that's kind of what that is. But guys, we're gonna go ahead and wrap the show up. We've been there for about an hour, 30 minutes. I'm gonna let everybody say their closing statements on as far as black guys struggle dating overseas. I'll start with you, Danny.
Wrap up. I mean, so I have friends who've been in Thailand for a while. I'm gonna speak on Thailand since I'm in here. Y'all always hear me talk about China. I'm not gonna be back in China for like maybe until like September or something. So I'm just gonna be talking about other countries until then, probably. But I've heard different people say things about Thailand, like, hey, like it's not easy for black guys, et cetera, et cetera. But my fourth time here, my experience is really, really good. And I agree that you do need to spend time in some countries for an extended amount of time before you can give a really educated opinion on that country. With that said, I still stand by what I said about the Philippines. But anyway, yeah, y'all, just try to travel the world and find a country that suits you. Because I think, I think everyone has at least one country where they could be, get some top treatment from the ladies. I think everyone has at least one country that's probably they do better than other countries. So you just got to travel and find that country.
Good point. Passport Dog, you want to speak on this? A black man struggle dating overseas?
I say, man, showing up is half the battle. Like when you like 80% of they say 80-20 rule, 80% of the battle is just clearly just showing up. So then as soon as you show up, bro, life just gets easier. You want to increase your odds, learn the language, you got to network. It's really networking and knowing the language. So after that, your odds increase. But showing up is really half the battle, and you got to develop a system for you to sustain yourself overseas, so you can live long time overseas, and you'll find success, man. Whatever your type is, you're gonna find it.
And before you go, speaking on like safety in Colombia and Medellin, you hear a lot of people getting drugged and robbed from some of these content creators. Is it really that bad out there, or you think it's maybe a way you can kind of limit things that could happen to you if you move a certain way?
I mean, like, people are so scared of Medellin, people are so scared of Colombia, but you got to understand, none of this stuff is new. Like, they've been drugging and robbing, and Colombia was never a utopia of a society ever. Like, so this is not new information, and it's just like you got to be knowledgeable of this. Like, these things do happen. Like I say, 9 times out of 10 times, people will come here, they have a good time, they turn up with the boys, got all kinds of Instagram, everything, and they go home safely. But that 1% does happen. Like, there is a culture, there is a big industry for this drugging and robbing in foreigners. So you just got to be mindful of these things. Like, and it starts with your hotel safety. Make sure you got some good security. And that's really 90% of the job is like your hotel security. And is where are you meeting these women? And 9 times out of 10 times, they met them online, they met them on Tinder. So have a secure place, stay off Tinder, and you're about better than about 99.9% of people.
Okay. And have you had any incidents out there in Colombia? Anything?
No, I haven't personally, because like I work with the clubs. Like, you can book a tour with me. I hook you up with a driver, all that, etc. I work with these clubs, so I'm never having a problem with these clubs. Every business establishment knows me, so I'm never having really a problem with no chick. My network is here. I have a big network, so I vet people properly. So I'm deep into the community. I'm deep into this whole culture and lifestyle of Colombia. So it's hard to get me, but I have personal friends who've been drugged and robbed. I have personal friends who got scammed. I've seen it with my eyes from personal friends. So I know that these things do happen, and it's just slight things can prevent it. But at the end of the day, Colombia is not a perfect society. So at the end of the day, people are poor. You're gonna run into homeless people and all that stuff here, and you just gotta be conscious and mindful of these things, bro.
Good point. Very good point. How can they reach you if they want to book a tour? Like, you want to put out your Instagram?
Instagram DM, and email the Real Passport Dog.
Okay, email at the Real Passport Dog. All right, man. Appreciate that. Dre the Kid, you want to speak on this? A black man struggling, dating overseas, brother?
Yeah, essentially just watch and learn more than looking at females in videos and basing everything off of that. Like, oh, I see that a lot in the group, being a moderator and such, I see them comments and stuff. Most of the time I don't pay too much attention to them, but you have a lot of people always asking, oh man, how the girls look over there, how the girls treat, and then that's about as far as you go about a country. But if no matter where you're trying to go, first off, learn what the culture is. Learn about where you're going. If it's another language, start trying to learn how to speak that language so that you can at least know if they about to scam you if you're sitting around them, if nothing else. But that shows that local individual that you have actual interest in their society, so that if you're actually looking for a relationship and all that kind of stuff, the female is gonna view you more in a manner like, oh, okay, he's serious about this. He ain't gonna just be here partying and all that stuff. And then that will help you increase your chances of finding what you really are looking for if you're looking for a relationship. You just on weekend warrior stuff, and you still you got stuff you need to learn before you just pull up somewhere. Like, you want to pull up here in Colombia, you need to learn that you're gonna do your weekend warrior activities. There's some stuff that's gonna make it extremely risky and dangerous for you if you don't learn those particular things and how to move. So there again, you still have to learn more than just, oh man, how the girls look, how the girls treat us. No, you need to learn a little bit more than that so that we don't have to read stories about you getting drugged and robbed or when you come down here, because the only thing you was thinking about is them chicks smiling in your face, and you didn't know before you got down here how abnormal that is for all three of them to want to go home with you, and you just met them, and you're gonna take them back to your apartment, your Airbnb, where all your stuff at. And hey, well, let's chill at my apartment. Let's drink while we here. You want something to drink? Oh, of course they're gonna want something to drink. Then you wake up butt naked in the park wondering what happened.
Facts. And that's actually happened to people I know. That exact thing happened. It's very unfortunate, man. All right, so great show, guys. It's been another dope panel. I want to thank everybody that's on the panel. Passport Dog, thank you for checking in, bro. Appreciate that. Straight the Kid, always welcome tapping in, and Flight Madness. Hold on. Like you want to say something real quick.
Wait, well, this guy Tony Kill keeps he's actually, you see a super chat he just sent, man?
I wasn't going to mention it. I thank you for $2 though, but I wasn't going to say anything about it.
Okay, he's really interested in my face. I don't know why he's so interested in me. I guess I shaved my face. I guess I'm the only guy here on the panel who doesn't really have a beard, and I'm actually going. You know the place where like Richie and that other guy got into a fight at last week. I'm actually going there tomorrow. They do a really good shave, y'all. They do like face shave, head shave. I paid 200 baht for that. That's crazy good deal. And like they put all kind of creams on your face. And you know, man, for me, I don't like it. I just feel cleaner because I sweat a lot. I work out every day. I used to have a beard when I was in America, and I just kind of cut it off. Asian girls, my face, my beard kind of scratches their face, and it kind of messes up a lot of situations. And I just feel smooth. I like having that smooth shave, man. I don't know why this guy Tony. I guess I don't know, man. He focusing on my face a lot. But anyway, it is what it is, y'all. It is what it is.
Hey, man, you know, dude's gonna talk ish in these chats, man. Big Wheel says bandits learning a language but won't learn how to be productive in society. Shaking my head. Yeah, man, you guys need to go back to the States, man, and help out the community. All right.
They need you.
They need you guys. All right, fam. We out. Great stream, fellas.
See you.
Peace.